Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of our RPG series. I haven't been able to record again. My health has been kind of a mess recently, but yeah, we're gonna try and carry on recording here. Alright, so I haven't been able to record. If you can even hear my voice, I'm not yet fully fit, but days have gone by and we need to record something, and yeah, so today's episode is quite interesting. We're going to be working on aiming our bow. So before we start, there's one thing we need to get. So we'll go to the package manager, we'll go to the Unity registry, and then we'll go and look for animation rigging. This one, we'll get that. Have that installed in our project. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the player controller, animations, combat, ranged animations. We've got those two, and I'm gonna bring in a few more. I'll bring in those guys. So now what we have here are our idle animations, our running animations, and then we've got the disarm. Yes, we do have the disarm, but there's one animation that is missing. What animation is this? This guy. Then I'll bring one more thing. There we go. Alright, so I've brought in these animations. If we look at this, and then we get our main character, our player, drag that there. So that's the equip, and then this is the running left, this is the running right, this is the running back, and this is the running forward. And then let's change this to humanoid. That's why I brought in this retarget asset, because if you do not if you use something that's not in the T-pose, make some more animations, mess that up. So let's just drag that there, apply, then we'll just say original. There we go, back into that, original, back into pose. Okay, then we are gonna save. This is the disarm bow. Let's actually just set it up as well. So humanoid, copy from other avatar. We'll drag our target avatar there, apply. So there we go. We'll just do that. We'll apply that. Then we've got our draw arrow animation. Set that to humanoid, and then same thing applies. So hit apply, and that's the one. All right, we'll also set it to original and then bake them into pose. Okay, so now that all our animations are all set up, we're gonna save that. We're gonna come in here, then we've got the range state here. So let's first deal with the locomotion. Set that to 0. Let's add a few more motion fields. So this one is going to be 1 and 0, like that. And then this is going to be the run forward animation. We're going to add another motion field here. This is going to be the run left. It's going to be -1, 0 on that guy. And then we're going to add one motion field, which is going to be 1 and 0 there. Okay, so we're going to put the running right. Then we're going to add one final one, which is going to be 0 but -1 there. And this is going to be the run back. So once we've set it up like that, we are done. And if we test that, we'll no longer just be playing the idle animation. So let's move up to this, pick that up, and then let's hit I, get that, equip it, and then what did I use to the tab? There we go. So now that we have it equipped, you can see we're able to walk. There we go. So we're gonna deal with this whole flying. Just don't have time right now, but we will. So let's come back here. The next thing that we're going to do now is work on our aiming. All right. So we're gonna go to the player controls. We're gonna open this up, and then inside the combat, I'm gonna add a new action and call it aim. Then move autosave. It'll be a button. And then we're gonna make it mouse. So it'll be the right mouse button. So there are a few things that we need to do now that when we get to this point, with a few things that we need to set up. So we're going to go into our player controller first. We're going to open it up. So we're going to look at combat inputs here. So we've got handle combat input. So if wheel is open, then we've got enable target and then dodge. All right, so let's go at the top here on enable, and then we're gonna say player controls the combat dot aim dot performed. It's going to plus equal to, we're going to say handle aiming, and then we're gonna get the same. We're gonna get the same. Then right here we're gonna say instead of plus equal, it's gonna be minus equal aiming. So inside this region of combat inputs, let's come here. Let's just create comment. Let's say bow logic. So let's say private void handle aiming. Let's give it the input action dot callback context. All right, so we're going to create a new boolean up here. Bow equipped. So let's go to where we are handling our equip input. So weapon, if it's a hold interaction, we're gonna do that. Weapon manager.range weapon is equals to true. Then we're gonna say weapon manager dot we're gonna say bow equipped is gonna be equal to true as well. Else we're gonna equip the equipped weapon Okay, let me just look at my notes here. Let's put something here. Let's arrange the point to the equip is equal to true so that we use it in here. So we're going to say well, let's see, what is that? Weapon manager dot range weapon equipped. So we're gonna come here and then we're going to say our bow equipped. Bow equipped is gonna be equal to range weapon dot equip. So now if bow equipped, then we're going to create a new core routine. But before we create that core routine, we're going to create a you see this is our player combat here where we're doing that. So we're going to create a new script which is going to be for our bow logic. So let's go to here. So let's go to combat system. Let's create a new C# script here. We're gonna call this bow combat. So let's open up our bow combat. We're going to create a few variables for our bow combat here at the top. So let's create a first serialized field. We're gonna create our animator. What did we call it? What was it? Our is it animator controller, animator controller. Then we are also going to have a public boolean is drawing arrow. Then we're also going to have another one, a public bow equipped. Then we're gonna have another serialized field which we're going to call our camera controller. Then one more serialized field which we're going to say is our player locomotion. That's it for this script. So let's now say start. We're going to get the animator controller. We're going to say this is equals to get component in children animator controller. So this is going to sit on the object above, not on the other object. Now what we're going to say is we're going to create two coroutines. So public enumerator, not enumerable, enumerator aim ball. What are we going to do in here? So we're going to go into our player locomotion and create a new variable in there, a public variable. Public boo is aiming. So if you remember, is locked on, we also have it in here, but this one we're going to put it here. So we're going to start with that and say player locomotion or locomotion dot is aiming will be set to true. Then bow equipped will also be set to true. Then is drawing arrow is also equal to true. Then we're now going to say animator or animator controller dot animator dot play. We're gonna play an animation here. We're gonna play our draw arrow animation like that. So now we're going to create a runtime animator controller, call it AC. What we're trying to do here now is to get the length of the animation that we are playing. We're going to say animator, we're going to say animator controller dot animator dot runtime controller. Now we're going to say our float anim length is equal to 0f. So now for we're going to create a for loop for I is equal to 0, I is greater than I is less than AC dot animation clips, then dot the length of that, then I plus plus. So what are we going to say? We're going to say if AC dot animation clip I dot name is equal to the draw arrow. Then what are we going to do next? We're going to say animation length is equal to AC that, like that. Okay. Then once we're done with our for loop, we're going to say yield return new wait for seconds anim length. Then we're going to yield return wait for 1 more second after that return. So yield return new wait for seconds. So we're waiting for 1 second after that animation has played. I'm gonna put 1 in there. Then what are we going to do here? What we're going to do here is say yield. We're going to now return yield return start coroutine. And then what coroutine are we going to start? We're going to come in here, create a new coroutine, public I numerator aim. So remember that one is aim ball. Now this is just aiming. Just aiming at this point. So let's come here and then let's say aim. Okay, here let's say draw arrow. Let's say draw arrow. Then here we're gonna say aim. So let's start forward. Start forward. Let's forward. It's gonna need us to give it that guy. There we go. Now, in this function, we're going to create a while loop. So while input dot get mouse button 1, not 0, and bow is equipped. While this is happening, we've got our camera controller dot we're going to go to the camera controller and write one more function. So inside our camera controller, let's write public void activate aim cam. What's going to be inside aim cam? Then let's also just copy this and then call it deactivate aim cam. So instead of activate, it's gonna be deactivate aim cam. So let's go back to our bulk combat here. So dot activate aim cam. Then if it's not, if the while loop is not happening, we're going to say camera controller dot deactivate aim cam. Now let's see what's wrong with our this. So let's come here. Let's come down here and say animator controller. The animator dot set bool. We're going to set our is aiming bool true. Then we're gonna say animator controller dot animator dot play So we're going to do this. Let's do this. We're going to say this part, do that, okay? But before we do that, we're going to be checking if animator controller dot alright, let's leave it like that for now. For now, just say yield return no. Now let's see what is causing this issue. This is not a while statement, this is a while statement. There we go. So while our input of get mouse button down is pressed and bow, then we're going to do that. Now how are we going to call this? How are we going to call this? We're going to come to the character control, not to the camera controller, but to the player controller. So player controller here. So if boy is equipped and then we press the aim button, we're going to start coroutine. Let's come here and then let's create a, just copy this. So not target system, but we're gonna say bow combat. Bow combat. So let's come here now and say state coroutine bow. Oh, come on. Bow combat dot aim, no, dot draw arrow. Now remember that our draw arrow function or coroutine ends up calling the aim. Okay, have to remember that. So, and then the aim gets us stuck in here while we are doing that, so that's fine. Let's come out here, look at that, look at that. It all looks fine. Let's come back to Unity, let the script compile. Well, we've got a few more things to do here, so we've got to be moving. So let's come to this script, to this object here. Drag our bow combat there. Then we've got the camera controller, so we're gonna go to our camera controller, drag that there. Then locomotion is right on this very guy, right there. And then that is fine. Now let's see what is happening. Let's see the weird behavior we've created here. We've got an issue. First of all, we have to set up our animations. So in here, we're gonna go back to our player, controller, animations, combat, ranged. Then we're going to come to the draw arrow, put that there, call it. Remember to name it exactly the way we've named it in the script. Put that there. Then we're gonna have this guy. And then we're gonna call this M. I'm gonna make a transition from this guy to this guy, but this will only be if I'm going to create a new boolean here. Is remember exactly the way you put it in the script. So I'm going to say if is aiming is false. Make a transition to this one, and it's gonna be like that. Now let's go back to the scene view and let's test this out and see what we could have missed. There, pick that up. Okay, whip. All right. So there we go. Now we equipped it. Okay, so we've got an issue. What issue do we have? Bow combat is not set to an instance of an object. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Our player controller needs our bow combat, and our bow combat is on the very object. So let's actually just make it more clean rather than getting it like that. Let's come up here where we're getting the rest of these and say bow combat is equal to get component bow combat. So let's test this out again, and let's fix all the errors that we might be having. So we're gonna run up there, get that, get it, equip it. Okay, let's double tap. There we go. And there we go. You have yourself now aiming, but we'll need to work on the movement. But there we go. And that is exactly how you want it to behave. But you can see we are only aiming forward, right? And when we let go, it's not going back. So let's fix that first of all. Let's go back to this script. We'll go to ball combat. Here where we're saying deactivate aim cam, we are also going to set this boolean to false. That way we leave that animation state. Okay, so now now that is done, let's see what are we remaining with. We're remaining with that thing that I made us install at the beginning. So we're gonna click on animation. We're first going to click on our player, the one where the skeleton is. So this is the one here for me. Then we're gonna click on animation rigging. Then you're going to say rig setup. Okay. Then you're also going to click on animation rigging again and then say bone renderer so we can see the bones. There we go. Nice and nice. So we put those bones there. Perfect. So now let's think of this like this. When we are trying to create an aim, the aim is going through the left hand for our bow. So we have to make sure that it's set up like that. So let's open this guy up. You'll find this which is saying rig 1 here. We'll create an empty object in here and call it body. Let's start with the body aim. Let's say body aim. So, and then we're going to add animation rigging. Then we're going to say multi-aim constraint. So now we're going to go back to this guy, to the armature, root, hips, spine, spine 2. So let's go spine 1. So the Y is that. So if we look at that, this is what we want. All right, this is what we want. So let's just reset that. So we're going to come to our body aim, and the constraint is going to be spine 1. So now let's click on spine 1 again. Let's just lock this. Let's click on spine 1, and then let's click on this. So you can see that the Y is the top, so up axis is going to be Y like that, but the X is the forward, so it's going to be minus X because our X is pointing behind the player. So it's going to be minus X. Okay, and for testing purposes only, let's create a 3D object, sphere. Move it there, somewhere there. Then we're going to call this, let's just do that. We're going to call this the aim pods. All right. So here where there's source objects, we're going to add one. Want it to be looking at this guy. All right. If we now play this, what you will see, okay, we've got very weird behavior happening. We've got very weird behavior happening. Okay, transform spine 2 is ambiguous. This is spine 2, spine 3. Okay, let's go with spine 1. Maybe spine 1 will work better. Okay, spine 1 is correct. Why are we getting this error? Let's go with spine 2 then. It's not supposed to give us that weird looking. Okay, we've got a situation where our ragdoll is ragdolling. We don't want the ragdoll to be able to ragdoll. I think it's we don't want the ragdoll to be able to ragdoll. Okay. We might have put something wrong. Let's see. Let's click on these bonds. No, they're the correct ones. Oh, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Something like that. Why isn't it working? The ragdoll isn't on at this time. Okay, let's add the other one first. I'm going to create an empty for this aim. So this is going to be animation rigging, multi-aim constraint. This is going to be left hand low, not leg, but spine 3, left clavicle, left shoulder, left elbow, left hand. Put left hand there. So if we click on left hand, we can see that the X is up, the Y is forward. So X and Y. So let's play. So we're having an issue where our ragdoll is ragdolling before we even tell it to, which isn't supposed to be the case. We've got an issue where our ragdoll is ragdolling before we even tell it to, which is bad. Oof. Okay, we've got a very weird behavior happening right now. Let's see what would be the problem here. The transform amateur root spine and the human bond must be unique. Okay. This is now a challenge that we are having with our actual model is where the challenge is here. Okay, so let me show you what it's supposed to look like with a correct model. minute. So initially what we're trying to achieve here, I play this, you can see how the body is rotating to face this cube, and then when we press that, then when we come here and then forgive me for that, let's see, okay, when we do that, you can see that we are looking right at it. And then if we were to pause, okay, let's see, so if we were to point this up, you can see it affects the way our player works. You see that? So that's what we're trying to achieve here, but for some reason it's not working in our project. So I'm gonna try and fix that. Then in the next episode we're going to be working on that, so that our player is able to aim in all directions with one aim animation, without us getting an aim animation for up, down, left, right. We just use one animation that will work for all of them. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this episode, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've learned something about this, and if you know the challenge that I'm facing without before I even figure it out, you can let me know, and then I'll work on it as well. Thank you very much. I'll see you all in the next one, and bye bye.